me $2 million. I don't care what industry you in. You owe somebody $2 million, you don't say nothing about it, that's your own fault.
I mean, if they so disrespectful to the culture that this shit just gotta stop. Like, even when you put up your money, they try to make you feel like a slave. They make you feel funny about asking.
Back in 2018, Empire creator and director Lee Daniels and Damon Dash reached an agreement over a lawsuit about a proposed Richard Pryor biopic. The long-gestating project had been in development hell since around 2013, and Daniels was first attached as director in 2014. Dash accused the director of breaching their contract over the biopic, which the Def Jam co-founder was scheduled to work on as well, and sued him in 2018 for $5 million. The two reached a settlement that same year, but at the time, the details of the agreement they came to were unclear. In court documents acquired by The Blast, it was revealed that Daniels reportedly paid Dash $1.7 million through installments from November 2018 to January 2021. Dash also agreed to give up his co-executive producer credit if the Pryor film ever goes ahead, and as a result, he will no longer receive any royalties either. Dash had accused Daniels of stringing him along on the project, which at one point had Mike Epps attached to the star and Oprah Winfrey involved as a producer. The last significant update given on the movie came in 2014, with the Weinstein Company involved in the production. Due to obvious reasons related to Harvey Weinstein, the future of the Pryor biopic remains uncertain. In a past Instagram post, Dash accused Daniels of borrowing $2 million. He shared a video of the two of them arguing, in which the director explained that he would repay him. He promised I would get my money back in months. Then he makes Precious and goes missing so he doesn't have to pay me, Dash wrote at the time. It's unclear if that unspecified $2 million loan had anything to do with the potential Pryor movie. Daniels has never really defended himself against the accusations leveled against him by Dash. "He believed in me when nobody else did," said Empire co-creator of Damon Dash with a promise to settle the lawsuit against him. "I'm happy to give him his money back, even though the movie didn't make money," Daniels told TMZ in June 2018 of the $2 million investment. He says Dash made in his movies when nobody, not Disney, not Sony, not TriStar, not Paramount, not Warner Bros., would put cash out after the Oscar-winning success of 2001's Monsters Ball. "He deserves his money, and so I'm going to work out something for him," Daniels added of the ongoing beef with Dash, who sued the film director before over the $2 million and even settled with him once before. "Because I am now in the position now to get it to him," the Star EP stated. "So I'm going to get it to him because I think that is the right thing to do." For some years now, Lee Daniels has been seen as one of the Hollywood gatekeepers who take advantage of Black creators instead of supporting them. Dash aside, another Hollywood giant who previously exposed Daniels is comedian and actress MoNique. The comedian recently opened up to The Hollywood Reporter about her recent resurgence on the big and small screens and the journey of forgiveness that has led to this fruitful new season of her life. "It made dollars and cents, and for all those years it just wasn't making sense," MoNique said of her return to the business. "Back then, I didn't feel a glow. I felt disappointed. I felt the same injustices and inequalities that all the Black women who came to Hollywood before me felt. Oftentimes people call that anger. They call it bitterness. They call it unstable. They give it all these titles except what it really is." MoNique has long been open about the fact that her retreat from Hollywood was initially prompted by a falling out she had with director Lee Daniels and the film studio Lionsgate when it came time to promote her Oscar-winning performance in 2009's Precious at the Cannes Film Festival. The actress refused to do so without additional pay. When informed that that was not quite how the promo machine worked, she respectfully declined, opting instead to spend some much-needed downtime with her husband and then 4-year-old twin sons. "And that was a problem," she recalls to The Hollywood Reporter. "The problem of how could this fat Black woman say no to the powers that be in Hollywood?" Co-producers Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry each made attempts to sway MoNique into joining in the promotional run after the studio expressed displeasure with her decision, but to no avail. When asked why she didn't want to spend a glamorous weekend in France promoting the work she had poured her soul into for greater consideration by critics and awards committees, MoNique laughed. "As I explained to Oprah Winfrey, I said, 'Oprah, I'm doing a talk show. I'm doing a comedy tour. I have a husband and I have babies. I have a little bit of downtime and I'm going to take advantage of it,' she explained. 'So I'm not going anywhere because I'm not obligated to go anywhere. I've done my part.' So we mutually agreed to disagree. That was it. Next thing I know, I am considered difficult and hard to work with." Despite once describing each other as the best of friends, MoNique and Daniels did not speak for another 13 years after this incident. But a chance behind-the-scenes encounter between Daniels and MoNique's work on a low-budget cable thriller led the two to what the comedian calls a chapter of forgiveness. The celebrated film director revealed in 2021 that a disrespectful crew led to a major behind-the-scenes shakeup only 20 days into filming his Oscar-winning 2009 drama Precious. But those who were present disagree, claiming that Lee uses an iron fist to pass his agenda. During a reunion panel with lead actress Gaburi Sidibe at the 2021 Toronto International Film Festival, the director recalled that he didn't feel good about the film's dailies after 2 weeks of shooting and course-corrected shortly thereafter. I had a white line producer, a white AD. They also read reviews that said my last film, Shadowboxer, was the worst film ever made, and they had zero respect for me, my vision, or what it was. They were New Yorkers that looked at this as a job, Daniel said. I kept coming home like, this doesn't feel right, she doesn't look right, the set looks weird. I felt like I was giving birth to an alien, literally. So I did something that I now don't even know whether I'd have the courage to do, but I fired everybody. I shut it down. Sidibe appeared to wipe away tears as Daniels recalled the incident and chimed in to confirm that he cleared the crew after a mere 20 days on set. I was so nervous about making sure that she was lit beautifully. It didn't feel right, the director added. Whether we were going to take a financial hit because of it, I just blindly shut it down. It was a risk that ultimately paid off, as the film ended up grossing $64 million against a $10 million budget. Then we got back with a new DP, Andrew Dunn, Daniels continued. I'd seen The Madness of King George, and I loved the way he shot it. I loved The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston. He'd done that, and I asked him, I need your help because my DP is disrespectful. They were all white guys. Just rude, disrespectful, really rude to what I wanted to do, not knowing I was going to shut it all down. Precious and its tale of a New York City teen who enrolls in an alternative school amid ongoing abuse from her mother became a runaway hit with critics. The film scored 2 Academy Awards, one for supporting actress MoNique and the other for Jeffrey S. Fletcher's script, atop the Best Picture nod. The film also featured critically lauded performances from Paula Patton, Sherry Shepherd, Lenny Kravitz, Zosha Roquemore, and Mariah Carey. Another person who has crossed paths with Daniels is Me Too founder Tarana Burke. Tarana previously revealed that she was deeply offended by the television and film executives' plan to create a comedy inspired by the movement. Back in 2018, Deadline reported Daniels and comedian Whitney Cummings had teamed up for a half-hour comedy series that was being developed at Amazon. The show, starring Cummings, revolves around the staff of the Ombudsman's office at a college that navigates PC culture and the #MeToo climate, according to the site. The lead character must reconcile the dissonance between different generations of feminism and the struggle to reconcile our primal desires and socially constructed identities with current ethical obligations regarding race, class, and gender. Burke, who founded the movement over 15 years ago, shared her reaction to the project with the New York Times. I just read something the other day that said Lee Daniels is making a Me Too comedy. The hair stood up on my arm. To put Me Too and comedy in the same sentence is so deeply offensive, and not because I'm uptight and I don't see comedy in things. We're not ready for a comedy, and it's just so offensive that you think in this moment when we're still unpacking the issue that you can write a comedy about it. And that's the type of thing I'm talking about. We have to get out in front of that. The activist also stressed the need for diverse writers' rooms within television, which would help prevent the movement from being misrepresented. That's exactly why it's important to get in the writers' rooms now and to connect with Hollywood now, before it gets to be such a catch-all phrase that they dilute its meaning, that we help people understand the gravity behind the words, and that it's not just used as, oh, look who got me too'd, ha ha, like a punchline. Lee Daniels, like other Hollywood gatekeepers, is not the type who keeps hush when his name is called. For example, in respect to MoNique's fallout, the director scathingly attacked the comedian, creating further rift between the two. While responding to Mo, Lee said, I fought hard for her to get that job. I wanted her to get that job. And she was paid her money, Daniels said. She was paid the money for the budget that we had. And for her to badmouth myself and Tyler and Oprah is disrespectful, and it's wrong. She's wrong. She's out of pocket. She's really wrong. Daniels added, "It breaks my heart that she feels that we blackballed her. No one blackballed her. MoNique blackballed her." But controversial rapper turned film producer Curtis 50 Cent doesn't buy Lee Daniels' feedback. About 4 years ago, actor Jussie Smollett was accused of staging the now infamous attack against himself by the Chicago Police Department, and 50 Cent wondered if the actor's boss, Empire co-creator Lee Daniels, could also be guilty of being in on the alleged scheme. After Jussie filed a police report claiming he was attacked by two men who shouted racist and homophobic slurs, put a noose around his neck, and poured a chemical substance on him, the Empire creator posted an emotional video to Instagram defending the star. "You didn't deserve, nor does anybody deserve, to have a noose put around your neck, to have bleach thrown on you," Lee had said in the video shared days after the story broke out. 50 Cent later questioned Lee's intentions, asking the difficult question of whether it was filmed with genuine remorse. The rapper reposted the video to his Instagram, the same day Jussie was arrested and released on a $100,000 bond. The In-Da Club hitmaker found it the perfect opportunity to promote his then-rivaling show, Power. "Power Season 6 coming soon," he wrote. While 50 Cent found humor in the situation, no laughs were cracked during the Chicago PD press conference when the case was being addressed. First, Jussie attempted to gain attention by sending a false letter that relied on racial and political language. The superintendent of the Chicago Police Department, Eddie Johnson, claimed at the press conference. When that didn't work, he paid $3,500 to stage this attack and drag Chicago's reputation through the mud in the process. The stunt was orchestrated by Smollett because he was dissatisfied with his salary on Fox's Empire. He concocted a story about being attacked. Just how awful was Lee Daniels paying him anyway? Another dissatisfied Emperor actor who has recently clashed head with Lee Daniels and his associates is the legendary Terrence Howard, who is one of the main actors in Lee's show. In early December this past year, Howard initiated a legal action against a prominent Hollywood talent agency. The NAACP award winner claims the agency failed to prioritize his best interests during his role on the successful Fox series Empire. Howard is suing the Creative Artists Agency LLC for breach of fiduciary duty, filing his claim in a Los Angeles Superior Court on Friday, December 9th. He asserts that the agency's dual representation of both him and the show's producer, Lee Daniels, created a conflict of interest. On the show, for 6 seasons, he played Lucius Lyons, a sinister music mogul whose empire was supported by his dysfunctional family. The show was one of the top shows on television from 2015 to 2020. The Cleveland native contends that he was deprived of the competitive compensation typically accorded to male leads of popular shows. Howard claims the agency neglected to advocate on his behalf for a salary commensurate with that of comparable white actors in the industry. He said at a press conference that he was never given accurate information from his agents regarding what salary he should expect in negotiations. CAA agents led him to believe that they were negotiating his contract in a way that would result in compensation comparable to figures like Kevin Spacey in House of Cards or Jon Hamm in Mad Men. Not only did it become abundantly clear that his agents led him on a path to rely on information that was misleading, he discovered that this was the result of the fact that CAA was not acting in his best interest, but in the interest of their own financial benefit, as well as the interest of the production companies and the producers, Daniels and Strong, Howard's lawsuit says, according to Variety. CAA reportedly implemented package deals, bundling multiple clients' salaries without prioritizing Terrence Howard as a standalone star. This practice, involving talent agencies receiving packaging fees on TV series, was basically banned after a nearly 2-year battle led by the Writers Guild of America against Hollywood's major agencies. Under normal circumstances, the complaint continued, had CAA not been the packaging agent, and had CAA not been concurrently representing the production companies, where their sole financial interest would have been the 10% fee from the compensation received by Howard, they would have most certainly fought for Howard in a manner that most producers are accustomed to seeing CAA agents engage in. According to The Star, Empire at one point had as many viewers each week as another hit show with a predominantly white cast, Big Bang Theory. However, his pay was substantially less than that show's lead, Jim Parsons. I can't say for certain this was a racial issue, but I can't imagine another counterpart, a white counterpart, with the same accolades, name recognition, and numbers that I had, receiving the lowball pay that I was receiving, Howard said, according to Rolling Stone. The Best Man standout star said that he really didn't want to believe he was being jerked and also didn't want to be a proverbial squeaky wheel. I drank the Kool-Aid. I believed that I was going to get paid or that I was getting compensated properly, but I wasn't, Howard noted. I just didn't want to piss off CAA and Fox. They're big companies to go to war against. He added he just could not stay quiet any longer. But sooner or later, you've got to stand up because they're just trampling over the rights of the artists, he added. CAA reportedly declined to comment on the lawsuit, for which Howard has hired Mississippi attorney Carlos Moore to defend him. But this isn't the first time he's raised an issue about his pay. In 2020, the beloved entertainer sued 20th Century Fox Film for allegedly being underpaid royalty fees for the use of his name and likeness on merchandise. He claimed that the Empire logo was created using the likeness of his Hustle and Flow character, Tyler DJ Moran. And when he is not feuding with actors, you will see Lee Daniels busy exchanging words with fellow film directors. Slightly over a year ago, Daniels openly criticized Quentin Tarantino after he defended using the N-word in his films. The producer and director were asked on CNN about his views on Tarantino's defense for using the N-word in his films, where he told people offended to see something else. Speaking on the U.S. network after Tarantino's response was aired, Daniels said, "Quentin, that's not the right answer." Asked for the right answer, he added, 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I would have checked it off as artistic. But N is our word. That's my word. You have no right to say that, and you have no right to feel that way. Sorry, bro. In his original response, when asked what he says when people say there's too much violence and he uses the N-word too often in his movies, Tarantino said, "You should see something else, then see something else." He added, "If you have a problem with my movies, then they aren't the movies to go see. Apparently, I'm not making them for you." Samuel L. Jackson, who has collaborated with Tarantino on several films, has often defended the filmmaker's use of the N-word. "It's some BS," Jackson told Esquire in 2019. "You can't just tell a writer he can't talk. Write the words. Put the words in the mouths of the people from their ethnicities, the way that they use their words. You cannot do that, because then it becomes an untruth. It's not honest. It's just not honest." So is Lee biting more than he can chew? And in the words of Damon Dash, is he worse than Diddy? Some fans seem to agree, with one posting, "We have white supremacists around here in blackface, like Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels, along with others," with a second one simply adding, "MoNique was right about Oprah, Tyler, and Lee Daniels." And that's it from us today. Until next time.